Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another new video here. Now, today I wanted to give a much more in-depth review of all the Tech Pro series and some other stuff I've been using. Just really kind of give my thoughts and feelings after using it all. Like the last video I did about it was more of just an unboxing for the most part, and just like the initial quality of it and how that felt. So with this video I wanted to again give a deeper dive on how it all kind of feels, how it all skates and all that kind of stuff, as well as do another, of course, a finger skateboarding session for you guys. So here we go. So basically, as I said in other videos, Tech Pro series, which again consists of this picnic table as well as this bike rack. Now, so the pros and cons for me, at least for these, is going to be that for the bike rack, the pros of it is that it is very heavy duty. It's real metal. You can hear that, it's real metal on there. It does very well with being hefty and staying where it's at. I love that part of it. The con of it, if I'm going to give it a con, because there is some negative sides to it, is that these little pieces here that are the base of it do tend to, they don't slide around, but they are sometimes hard to skate around if I'm trying to flip in and flip out of certain tricks or things like that. Like they kind of, sometimes if I land like right here, on the like right where, because in real skateboarding, which is how I try to finger skateboard as well, in real skateboarding a lot of times you will get like really close to the actual railing, and so having these be right there, like almost there, because they're about an inch out, so to speak, right there from a width base, that part of it really kind of gets a little bit frustrating just trying to skate around overall for that part. So overall, it's a good piece. Again, these are one, they come together, so you're not like spending money all of it on them separately. But I wish that this was also a little bit longer. So I like to do a lot of combo tricks, so like 50-50s and 5-0s, 50-50 nose grinds, crooked grind, nose into just combination stuff. I like that a lot for my finger skateboarding, and this is not really made for that. I'll say that much. It's a much more one kind of trick thing. It's very good though, I will say, for flipping and flipping out of stuff in certain times too, as well as getting a really solid one grind out of it and flipping out of it. So that's pretty cool for that. For the picnic table, it's a little bit of a different story. So again, it's a very hefty metal piece. Everything's metal. It's very heavy in a good way. It's got metal bases as well. And then again, it has the same kind of stoppage pieces as the other one does too, so it will not move around at all for you, but it's already heavy enough as it is. Now, the negative side to it for me is how tall it is. So what I mean by that is if I compare it to the kind of entry-level stuff like the Nigel Houston park, I should say this guy, which comes with the Barracks park. If you compare them, there's a pretty big difference from the height of how tall this is to how tall this is, and this one is, in my opinion, a better experience for finger skateboarding on its own for the height of it, not the length of it, but just the height of it for that part. Because I found myself on this guy, although it's it's real metal and it skates a little bit better for that part of it, the height of it can be kind of tricky sometimes when it comes to like just coming out of stuff, as far as like slides and just not 50-50s, but more of just like tail slides, no slides, and like tail blunt stuff, that kind of thing is just harder to get out of for those parts. And I'm sure I can adjust to it over time. Again, I've only had these for a few days, but that would be the negative side of it, is it's a little bit taller, and I've seen some other people review it the same way in their videos as well, again, where it's a little bit tall and that kind of thing. So again, together, overall, they are good pieces together. If you are looking to get into some more heavy duty park stuff as far as like the whole street part of it, compared to, I would say, of course, to like the Tech Deck entry level stuff where it's like all plastic and and that kind of thing. So it's just different styles of what you're looking for. Now, the other part I want to get into as well is that I have also been investing more into these kind of pieces. Now, this is not in any way a sponsored video for any company or anything like that. This is just the first one that I bought from LC Boards, which is I found on Instagram online, and this is real wood. It's real metal, and my favorite thing about it is how you can do a lot of multi-tricks on it. So just manuals and that kind of thing, a lot easier than on this stuff overall, in my opinion, at least. So again, it's not sponsored, but I just think it's more fun to do it on real wood than plastic areas like this. Although I did learn, or I really learned how to do everything on the plastic park stuff, and these are great on their own for entry level fingerboarding. For that kind of thing, it was more of just a much bigger hobby than being like, okay, I want to build a skate park for that part of it. So I always recommend going with this stuff. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I'm going to be buying more stuff from them in the future, as well as some other companies, because they're not super expensive at all. They make more ramps and things rather than like park stuff like this. So that's the only negative I would say about some of these companies, that they don't really make like street stuff, so to speak, in a way. And then finally, the other thing I want to get into as well is going to be to the which I read a little bit in the last video, which is the actual Tech Deck Pro Series skateboard fingerboard videos, or the fingerboard itself. Now, these are very, very different than what comes out for the most part with ones like this. So this Nigel Houston one, just the deck itself, came with his park piece as one piece. And there are some major differences between this guy, or any of these really, the plastic ones, versus the actual Pro, like the Pro Series. So really quickly, so basically the major differences are going to be that any of them, they are obviously much cheaper. You can buy them in multiple packs, and then they're all plastic. There's no the quickest thing or the biggest thing I noticed overall from my personal experience is how these not only is it plastic, but the actual trucks I already stripped just from tightening up this truck. I already stripped the actual hardware, if you want to call it hardware. And so this one, if it ever comes off, it's like, unless I replace the whole truck, that piece of it is just done for, which kind of sucks about it. And then it's more also, obviously it's a plastic board, so you get that kind of part of it too. And the actual grip tape, if you want to call it that, is just sandpaper. Now, the negative side for me about this one is how it actually, I've gotten a few cuts on my fingers from using this one so much. And so if you actually see all those like little stains, that's actually my blood from getting cuts and still doing it, because they just are, they're entry-level toys at their core basis. So they are great for just playing around with and things like that, just overall just for messing with and that sort of thing. But I will say it is a major step up if you go with the Pro Series, because you are using actual wood in that case. Or if you see these, this is not the easiest way to show it, but there's actually plied wood in here. The actual, like, one of my favorite things about these Pro ones is the actual grip tape is actually rubber. And I love that because of the fact that when you're using this, it is much easier in my experience to flip in, flip out of things. The actual weight of the Pro Series, because it's actual wood and metal trucks, is a lot better. And it's a lot more, I would say, realistic. And that's one of my favorite things about it, because on the plastic ones, you can do like, a lot of flips easily without trying too hard and go crazy on it and just go crazy on it like that. And my favorite thing about these ones is that they're a lot heavier. This is real wood, rubber is a little bit heavier. The trucks are real metal. And also my favorite parts about them too is that the actual bushings inside them is actually rubber too, and the actual bearings are real too. So if you hear this, I'll quiet down, but if you hear this part, I'll do a different one. Hear that? It's spinning. So there's a lot more realistic for that part. And the cool thing about them is that, in my opinion, they are a lot more fun to skate with, because of the fact that they're a lot weightier to actually skate with. So it means like a lot of like for me, like my 360 flips are a lot more realistic. My flipping flip out stuff is a lot more realistic. So they're just more fun to use. So that's kind of my thoughts overall on this whole entire Tech Deck Pro Series versus the entry level stuff. I mean, this stuff is not for everyone. If you're looking just to play around, then this style is just fine for you overall. And it all comes together for like this piece, as well as like the Nigel Houston Tech Deck, and all that comes together. So it's a really great entry level series for that stuff. But if you're like me and you're looking to get a little bit more heavily involved into it, and I don't want to say taking it more seriously, but more just have a more, not only a realistic approach to just finger skateboarding in general, and also the physical aspect of it, because again, these ones the Pro Series are a lot more just obviously realistic, but they're a lot more fun to use, because you really feel like, because with the rubber, it's easier on your fingers. Like I got cuts from using these ones every single day. Nothing against these ones at all, but just the Pro Series is where it's at for me. So again, that's kind of my in-depth review on it overall. So let me know in the comments what you think about all this stuff, as far as like having entry level versus like the more Pro Series and all that kind of stuff. I love knowing what you guys think about it as well. But all that aside, let's go ahead and get to the actual finger skateboarding session here. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, let me know in the comments below as well. And then definitely subscribe if you like this, and give the video a like too. Otherwise, again, let's go ahead and get into the actual finger skateboarding session. And thanks for watching.